Shalom, minister of souls, but giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and honors to brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh's real name, with whom the world eagerly calls God, Jehovah Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. The Son's true name is Yahushua. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, booming in, Ha meaning Dan Sham, meaning names Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua. It is on the news that Donald Trump says that thousands of migrants will be housed in new Guantanamo Bay detention center. Right, and there are two different things here wanted to kind of look at. Well, three. Well, one is the fact that he's effectively associated the Latin tribes, because let's be real, when they're talking about migrants, and then you're seeing the response from this. Right, when these rednecks are thinking about migrants, they're thinking about Mexicans, right? Regardless about the truth of what and effectively just the Latin tribes, right? Regardless of the truth of we saw the videos. You had people from all over the world crossing into that border, but the primary focus, right, is you tribes, okay? And the image of Guantanamo Bay, right, is that of is of a place that housed the people that threatened America's safety, the people that did 9/11 and this and the other. So with this, right, the messaging is almost associating the two, as if this, because what we said, some of the worst criminals are going to be sent there, okay? And then also the fact that this is once again the Edomite response to this, because this is it, right now we live in a world where E has been transformed into an angel of light, okay? But we're coming into a time where the Lord is basically going to remove that covering cast, okay? So this is 2 Corinthians 11:14. It says, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Okay, therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works." So when you're seeing this devil do things, and his reception throughout the world, he up until this point has cast himself to be the savior, to be the good guy, to having the moral high ground, okay? But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, right, via different means, the prophets, right? But then also the fact that the Lord is having these these different devils speak on themselves, right? This is Psalm 64:8. It says, "So shall they make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away," right? So once again, son of the Spirit, the Lord, the prophets, right, on the scene, and then also even some of E's people, right? You're basically having the whole world start to learn about E. So Habakkuk 2:16 says, "Thou art filled with shameful glory, right? Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory." Okay, so people are starting to see who this devil really is. Okay, right now he is still able to walk around as if he's got the moral high ground. Whenever something major in the world happens, what do they go? "Oh, let's hear what the American president has to say about this." Okay, up until this point, they've been able to once again be the world police. Okay, but the Lord is getting ready to destroy that covering. This is Isaiah 25:7, "And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all the people, and the veil that is spread over all the nations." Okay, so all of this covering that is in the world, Lord is gonna start removing that. Right, and then when it comes to Esau, right, we're going to see that his wrath hath not been altogether wiped away. So I'll start from Sirach, and from 12 from verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." And what I've always loved about this precept is this is science. Esau likes to be, "Oh, this is science," right? This is a fact. You have iron, and you leave it in there, it's going to oxidize. Okay, basically meaning that when you're dealing with this devil, he's going to show you that he's the devil. All right, This is Jeremiah 13:23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. So when you're seeing this man, quote unquote, doing good, there's always an ulterior motive because it's not in him. Okay, this is Psalms 55:21. On that point, it says the words of his mouth are smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So once again, the words of his mouth are smooth than butter, but war in his heart. So he is seemingly trying to do good, there's always an ulterior motive, right? He's always trying to, we need to save these, natives, these blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, from the CV. So we're gonna offer them the juicy juice first, right? Sounds good, right? But what was it? War was in his heart, right? And then also Job 20:10, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods, right? Like all of these Democrat types, these liberals, oh, we're here for you and this, that, and the other. But you gonna be you gonna bet your whatever dollars, I forget the phrase, right? But that you will have a whole load of people, right, regardless of the political spectrum, because once again, it don't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. If you're an Edomite, you're an Edomite, and you have perpetual hate for the tribes, okay? And that's one of the things as well that I wanted to touch on, because you had the whole, brothers shared a video, right? You got different Edomites just really just happy that this is happening, and then here it is, they're likening the deportation into a military bay as, oh, what about all of the people that got locked up for Jan 6? Where were you then? And it's just like that, false equivalency. you know. But this is Ezekiel 35:5, and once again, right, when you understand this whole debate, this whole conversation, right, you understand that it was something that Esau set up, okay? Because I think about this, I'll be like, right, so you're telling me that here it is, they've got all of these so-called threats, right, from Russia, from China, from other foreign countries and whatever, what have you, right? They got all of these so-called threats, yet they were just allowing people across the border and then just moving them into cities, and at the same time crushing people in the economy, right? So it just makes you think, what really was going on, and we understand what was going on. This is all a plan. The scripture says, "Whose heart is deep," okay, to rile up the minds of these Edomites, right? Gaslighting them, seeing them, being put up in hotels whilst they're struggling to pay rent, to feed their children. That is gonna stir up some hatred. Okay, and this is why it says, we're going to carry on Surah 12, that you'll see that his wrath hath not been altogether wiped away. This is Ezekiel 35:5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sif thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit, right? A perpetual hatred. When you look into that word, perpetual basically goes, into from antiquity, right? When you look at what did the man Esau say in reference to his brother Jacob, the time of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And that's what this man was on. Okay, so he's been looking to kill Jake. Okay. And right now, over the last however long, he's been, and really over the last maybe even 50 years, like, they make it seem like Esau's just always been this benevolent guy, that he's just, treated Jake like like he loves Jake, right? We have to always remember, like, when you think about which, these were characters that Esau set up. So uh, let's not pretend like these were what's the word I'm looking for? Let's not pretend like let me say that again, right? We understand that these characters are Esau that set them up. However, right, the point still stands. Okay, and this is because you always got to remember MLK, Right, he was assassinated 1968. Now that's just over 50 years ago, right? So basically, you've got people who've got parents, okay, who were around the time when Jake wasn't able to do this, Jake wasn't able to do that, okay, yeah, um, uh, 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 yeah, he will make it seem like he's always had the high ground. No, this is within our lifetime, right? And that's really the point that I'm making by that, right? Esau set those people up, right, within our life, our parents' lifetime, and even certain of the what do you call it? Certain of the of the men that are older in age in this truth. Okay, you ask the Arkham here, the elders here that who grew up in London, right? These ain't old men; these are men in their 30s, and they'll tell you, oh, these Edomites were racist as hell. Yet right now they're trying to purport themselves as being these. Oh, we've always loved people. No, you ain't. You're the devil. Okay, and through Hollywood, through witchcraft, you've been able to make it seem, once again, you've been able to transform yourself into this angel of light, right? But you ain't. You're the devil, okay? It's because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of the calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power. So, yeah, because Esau loves shedding Jake's blood. He loves it, right? When you're seeing the responses to this, any Jake after that's trying to hold hand in hand, walk hand in hand with this devil, he's gonna go down with this devil, and in fact, this devil's gonna take him down. Okay. Um. Yeah. So all of the blood that Esau shed of Jake, his is gonna be shed. This is back in Sirach 12 from 11. It's as though he humble himself and go crouching. Yeah, like your Joe Bidens, your Queen Elizabeths, okay, right, just know that all of them were doing a madness. Okay, he says, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Okay, he's gonna start showing his horns. He's gonna start reminding people, right, that he's the devil. Okay, he's going to be able to, he was joking about it at the camp, but it's of a truth. He's going to be able to finally relax and take this mask off. Okay, like when Eve comes back from work, it was the example given at at the camp. It was just like Eve comes back from work, takes that wig off and then can finally relax. That's what it's going to be like. He's just like, just have that big sigh of relief. Finally, I can just be the devil. No more pretending, right? And all you people that join hand in hand, hey, hey, woe be unto you. This is Jeremiah 30, 6 and 7, point on 1 and 7. It says, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Right, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So we're basically walking into Jacob's trouble right now. Okay, right. When you're seeing this and you're thinking about the energy that this evokes, right? When you're talking about Guantanamo Bay, right? I I only associate that with the T's. Okay, and when these people are talking about migrants, they're really thinking about the Latin tribes. Okay, so what is Esau doing here? Right, he's basically setting up, this idea that Jake is the problem. Okay, that's what he's doing. So, hey, this Trump presidency, man, hey, through in these last 9 days, right? This man has just, the Lord's put the spirit on this man to just, be rolling them out. This is Revelation 12 and 12. It's been a hell of a month, man. January's not even over. Okay, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Okay, so Esau's going to start coming down, right? And these Edomites right now, they've got a battery pack in their hands, not knowing, right? Not knowing that this is just a precedent, not knowing that similar things are going to befall them. Okay, because these camps, this is certainly something that he is getting ready to set up. Okay, and that's what people don't seem to realize. These Edomites that are rejoicing right now, right? They don't realize that there's going to be camps set up in general. Okay, first they start off with the problem that you agree with. Yeah, get him. And then when you end up in there, you're like, oh man, they got me. Revelation 2 and 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. So, this is talking about how some of us are going to be, cast into these prisons, into these camps that he's going to get set up, because once again, there ain't no re-educating us, right? There are lists, and the end goal that he has for us ain't great. Okay, but that's why we trust in the Lord, right? Because regardless of what happens, because you read the accounts, the Lord came and protected his men, right, from certain destruction, right? But then also, it says, "Be thou faithful unto death," right? Because when you read, was it Thessalonians, speaks about how the dead in Yahweh shall rise first. So regardless, we've won, right? And this is just Esau understanding that he hath but a short time, as we just read. Okay, so that's just it. Okay, this Trump presidency, man, right? Because which ultimately, it's more so, right? That the Lord is basically putting the spirit, right? Is basically putting a spirit on this man to start this thing moving. Right, so as always, that was edifying. Till next time we say, Shalom.